All right, folks, here we are at the 2015 San Luis Open with our first semifinal of the day between Alex Cardona, who we have in the backcourt in gray, and David Bobby Horn in the Gearbox Max 2 jersey. Bobby Horn starting off serving. And a side out for Cardona early here in game one of our first semifinal this evening. I'm Laura McCormick with the WRT, and we are live in San Luis Potosí, playing at Centro Deportivo La Loma. Alex Cardona defeating Rodrigo Montoya earlier today in the quarterfinals. Probably the most mild quarterfinal because we had some pretty exciting matches here today. He defeated him 15-13, 15-8. And David Bobby Horn opening up the day with our first quarterfinal against David Ortega in the first of 3 tiebreakers for our quarterfinals. Losing game 1 11-15, coming back to win game 2 15-13, and winning in the breaker 11-7. Bobby Horn, who is serving, is seeded number 3 here this weekend against number 2 Alex Cardona. Should be a great match. Bobby looking for some room there. Little argument here early on in game 1 over that call. But everybody's a good sport out there. Nice serve from Cardona. All right, and a first point for Alex Cardona. 1-3. We had some long quarterfinals here today, starting at 10 a.m. and finishing at 4 p.m. with 3 of our quarters going to breaker, and look at that, an ace from Cardona. Bobby Horn went to tiebreaker against David Ortega. We had Andre Perea and Anthony Herrera going to tiebreaker, so Andre will play Jake Bredenbeck, who went to tiebreaker against Christian Longoria earlier. Four serving 3 here early in game 1. Pretty close first semi-final game against number 2 and number 3 seed here at the San Luis Open. Cardona now with a couple points in a row, setting the tone now in game 2. Ref's calling a second serve. All right, Bobby Horn with the side out. Only down by 1 here in game 1. Nice side out there from Cardona. We're seeing power versus speed here. This is a great matchup as we actually have numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 in our semifinals here tonight. Always good to see Bobby Horn smiling out there. And a skip from Cardona gives a point to Horn. All tied up at 5-5. Interesting to see the two different playing styles here between serious Cardona, who's serious on the court, and the exact opposite off the court usually, against Bobby Horn, who can play differently based on his opponent, I believe. He can be excited, he can be super serious. Looks like today he's trying to keep it light here in the semifinal against Cardona's serious attitude. We have our referee now, Christian Longoria, out there calling this first semifinal of the day. Coming up right after this, we have number 1, Jake Bredenbeck versus number 4, Andre Paria, who's playing here in his home court. Nice return there from David Bobby Horn. Right down the line, past Cardona. Eight serving 5 here in game 1. Nice serve from Cardona and an ace. Bobby Horn's going to go ahead and take a timeout after that ace. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. And we're back in game 1 of our first semifinal here this evening at the 2015 San Luis Open, playing at Centro Deportivo La Loma, a beautiful facility here in San Luis Potosi. Number 2, Alex Cardona against number 3, David Bobby Horn. All right, we're going to get a second serve, which is what Bobby was looking for. Ooh, nice return has Cardona on the floor. And a side out there for Bobby Horn. I think we'll see part of Bobby's strategy here today, trying to shake up Cardona's personality out there on the court. He's all smiles here in the semifinal, a little different from his first match this morning at 10 a.m. where he played David Ortega and beat him in the tiebreaker. That's what put him here in the semifinals. Point for Horn. Tough rally here in game 1 and a point for Cardona, pushing him ahead to 10-6. For those of you watching at home, we'd love to hear from you, so hit us up on Facebook at World R-Ball Tour. Who do you think is going to push through to the finals tomorrow, happening at 12 p.m. Central Time? Will it be Alex Cardona, the number 2 seed here at the tournament, number 3 on the WRT, or David Bobby Horn, seeded number 3 here this weekend, ranked number 4 on the WRT? Of course, Bobby's going to refer with the ref there on that last call. Ooh, nice get from Cardona deep in the corner. And a point for Horn. Sorry, side out for Horn. Nice swing there from Bobby Horn. Both Bobby Horn and Alex Cardona are Gearbox players, happen to be playing with the new Beltran rackets. For those of you that want to look at the Beltran collection, you can go to gearboxrb.com, official sponsor of the WRT. These guys are going to take a quick break, and so are we. We'll be right back after this. And we're back in our first game of our first semifinal match here this evening at the 2015 San Luis Open. We have David Bobby Horn out there on the court in the Max 2 Gearbox jersey against Alex Cardona. Both are playing with the Beltran rackets. Like I said, if you want to check out more about Gearbox products, they are the official sponsor of the WRT. You can go to gearboxrb.com. These guys are ready to keep game one going. Good timeout there for Cardona. He earns the timeout. Excuse me, the side out, and he's ready to serve. Seven serving 10. Horn's opportunity here. Ooh, big swing from Cardona. And a point for Bobby Horn. Cheering himself on out there.
8-10.
2 points in a row for Bobby Horn. Closing the gap, making it 9 serving 10.
9-10.
'All tied up here in game one, 10 serving 10. Nice shot from David Horn. Nice get by Cardona. And Horn takes the lead 11-10 in game one. Keeping it super competitive here, just like we would expect, judging from our quarterfinals earlier today. 2 versus 3 here in game one. Side out for Cardona. Doesn't want to let Horn get too far ahead of him. We have Alex Cardona from Juarez, Mexico, against Bobby Horn from Stockton, California. Second serve. Nice shot down the line for Cardona, tying it up 11-11. And Cardona pushes ahead here in game one, up by 1 point. The winner of today's semifinal will continue on to play in the finals tomorrow at 12 noon here Central Time in San Luis. Ooh. Some great rallies so far here in game one. Lots of power from both players. Horn now trailing by 1. Just past Horn. Serving 11. Bobby Horn's going to take a timeout. We'll be right back in just a moment. And we're back in game one of our first semifinal here this evening at the 2015 San Luis Open. Alex Cardona in the lead now by 2 in game one against David Bobby Horn. Pretty great matchup between number 2 and number 3 here on the tour. Ooh, nice placement there from Cardona. And this will be game point now for Alex Cardona in game one. Second serve. Ooh, nice hustle there from Cardona. All over the place in that rally. And Horn with the side out. Nice hustle there from Cardona. Just wasn't enough. Nice placement from Horn. And Horn's opportunity here to hold off Cardona's win and get some points for himself. Now Cardona's second game point opportunity here, 14 serving 11. And another side out from Horn. Horn holding on here in game one with an opportunity to score. And a point for Horn, forcing Cardona to take a timeout. Things are heating up here in game one. We'll be right back with more right after this. And we're back live in game one of our semifinal between David Bobby Horn, who's serving, and Alex Cardona. Bobby Horn down by 2 with an opportunity to tie it up here. It's been a nice competitive game one here so far in our first semifinal this evening. And I'm just receiving word that Anthony Herrera will be joining us on the broadcast for game 2. Nice get from Cardona. Soft touch. Whoa. All right, looks like it was 2 bounces there when Cardona was diving. Great rally here as Bobby Horn pushes ahead with another point, 13-14. And here is Cardona's third opportunity for game point. If he can close this out, he'll push us through to game 2. But as we've seen all morning here today, our 3 of our 4 quarterfinals going to tiebreaker. Anything can happen in game 2. Second serve. And another side out from Horn, holding on here in game 1. And that's going to tie it up in game 1, 14-14. Bobby Horn chipping away from 11 points to tie it up right now. 14-14, game 1. Wow. And Bobby Horn coming back to win game 1, 15-14. An incredible comeback there, down by 3 points to tie it up, 14-14, winning 15-14. And we're back in game 2 of our first semifinal here this evening. I'm Laura McCormick with the WRT, and joining me on the broadcast is WRT pro Anthony Herrera. Welcome, Anthony.
Hi, Laura.
Great first rally here in game 2. And there's a side out for Bobby Horn. Bobby Horn coming back from a deficit in game 1, 11-14. Cardona with at least 3 game point opportunities. Bobby Horn able to pull out the win. An unforced error there from Cardona. And the first point for Horn. Nice shot there from Cardona for the side out. Anthony, care to place a guess on who you think's going to pull out the win here? We've seen some pretty incredible tiebreakers here all weekend. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are there's a lot of gnats in their air over here. Just it's kind of an inside-outside kind of a club, and the mosquitoes can get to you, and they just like poke at you. But besides that, I mean, we're also battling the heat. It's very humid, and San Luis is also very high in altitude, so the ball is traveling very, very fast.
And that tile wall in the front, what was that like playing with that? Do you think the ball's faster?
I don't know. I think it just gives it a different feel. I think you're more focused on the game, breathing, and the ball going so fast that you don't even know the rest of the court. These two have had quite some battles in the past couple of events, I'm pretty sure. I know that whenever they step on the court, it's always Bobby always gives it his all. I think that Cardona had the edge in Pleasanton last time that they played.
Just fact checking you real quick. I believe, and when I talked to Bobby, he was saying the same. They've only faced each other once before at the Monterey Open. They were in the semifinals together. Are you disagreeing?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, because it was the Mount Rainier Open. It was in Seattle. Excuse me, you're correct. That
go.
was in February. Bobby's looking for some revenge here today against Cardona. Good opportunity for Bobby to get a lot of points here this weekend. Cardona just kind of camped out there in the middle of the court, looking pretty comfortable. And a side out. Nice between the legs from Horn. Ref's calling 2 bounces and a side out for Horn. So far, kind of a slow start, but competitive here in game 2. Anthony, who would you like to see move on to the finals tomorrow at 12 noon Central Time?
That's an interesting question. I don't really have a very good answer for you either.
No? Come on. Take a guess. Any guess? Horn or Cardona? They seem pretty evenly matched right now.
They do. I think that, I don't know, David has been not as consistent, but at the same time, he's been able to put some consistent runs together. I don't know if that makes sense, but like there's sometimes where he's just like playing not very smart at all, but then when he does play smart, it's very, very well.
Yeah, he's got a lot of momentum here this weekend too.
I'm surprised to see him be able to come back and win that first game, because Cardona kind of looked like he had control.
I would agree. Tricky spin there. All right, and a point for Horn. In the lead here, 2-0.
One.
Ooh, just hits the front wall.
Those are things that Dave is able to do pretty well, is put a little extra pressure on his opponent by getting to balls, and then they have to shoot one more shot.
Looks like Cardona's going to take a timeout, see if he can rattle Horn a little bit. We'll be right back in just a moment. And we're back live in game 2 of our first semifinal here this evening, where we have David Bobby Horn leading in game 2 after coming back in game 1 from an 11-14 deficit and winning 15-11. Horn focused right now and looks like he just broke the ball while waiting for Cardona to come back from his timeout. So they're going to go ahead and switch the ball out.
Oh, wow. The ref just called that last point a replay because the ball broke, but I think that he might be getting corrected because David hit it.
He was hitting it a couple times.
He was hitting it a couple times.
Oh, I thought he was kidding when he said replay.
Hopefully.
Guess not. So it doesn't look like it's going to be a replay. Anthony, this is your second time in San Luis? Were you here for the first WRT event last year?
Yeah, I believe so.
How's your experience been so far?
Oh, I love this. Every time I come back to this La Loma club, it's a beautiful facility. I mean, it's like a big country club, and it's kind of open to whatever we want to do. Then also they use it as their Olympic training center as well. So you always get to see different types of athletes. I think that the Judo USA team is here practicing. I saw them training earlier. So yeah, they have a lot of photos and posters of Michael Phelps. I know that he was here last year during this event.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so some great athletes have come through this.
Yeah, pretty exciting to be able to play here for our San Luis Open.
And plus, all the fans are just amazing.
Side out for Cardona. It seems like a well-placed timeout. And a point for Cardona. Nice side out there for Horn.
This day has just been incredible. I think you've seen over the past couple of years that the play on the WRT has just gotten elevated from everybody.
Absolutely. Actually, Bobby was talking about that earlier today when we were watching the second quarterfinal here this morning. Seeing the other players kind of motivate each other by the way they're elevating their game and improving so quickly just over the last year or two.
And then the talent that's here in Mexico, especially here in San Luis, it's pretty amazing.
They just had the junior nationals here in San Luis last week. There's a lot of juniors still hanging around, including Christian Longoria, who made it to the quarterfinals against Jake Bredenbeck earlier today and is our referee here this evening. Andre Padilla winning the 18 and under junior nationals for Mexico and playing against Jake Bredenbeck right after this match. So yeah, lots of talent, a lot of representation from Mexico here in San Luis.
Cardona not liking some of those calls out there. That's one thing. That's one player on tour that doesn't really get rattled too much about calls is Cardona. I've seen it only a handful of times. Usually he just replays or does something.
It's like replaying it?
Can't say the same about Bobby.
No, he talks a lot about calls. And why would they be calling a replay on that? Is it screen serve or?
Cardona was in front of him. Cardona was in front of him and he was trying to shoot. It was a questionable call, but I think that it was the right call. The ball kind of jammed out, and it's not that Bobby had a bad shot, but I don't think it was a setup per se.
And we're back in game 2 of our first semifinal here this evening at the San Luis Open. The side out for Bobby Horn. And another side out then for Alex Cardona. Nice get by Bobby. Unforced error there from Cardona.
I know there's a little bit more motivation for Cardona playing this weekend, also just in that race for number 1, and especially with Polo not being here, he wants to get as many points as he can.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for him. Cardona not looking like he had to work that hard there in that rally. Had Bobby Horn all over the place.
Cardona was a little annoyed that Bobby kept on getting those balls, so he was just looking to put the ball away. Little skip there by Bobby gives Cardona another point, so see if he can make a run out of it.
Second serve.
Oh, I think he's going to mark that good. That's a great serve.
Ace there from Cardona. Pumped himself up.
That's what happens here at this high altitude. You can just crush the ball in it, and it barely goes over the line. It's a big advantage if somebody can keep their legs and be able to play the whole match like that.
Right, second serve for Cardona. Nice return there from Horn for a side out. Leading by 1 in game 2 after winning game 1 15-14.
Ooh, that is tough. That is a tough backhand by Cardona. He's kind of reaching back behind him and is able to kill the ball.
Cardona ties it up here in game 2.
Bobby kind of slaps that one behind his back like it's no big deal.
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing here on these courts is serving. I mean, you can serve well and make points, but then you just miss the serves, and it's unforgiving here because it comes off the back wall and just gives the other guy a setup. It's too much of an easy side out for your opponent.
Second serve. Skip from Cardona. Checking on the ball. Seems okay. It's still tied at 6-6 in game 2. All right, and our first movement on the board here in quite some time as Horn plunges ahead with 7. Animated dive there from Horn, but side out for Cardona. Horn kind of jamming Cardona up there from the center of the court and a side out. Nice swing from Bobby deep in the court. Gives him a point, up by 2.
Man,
nice
Bobby has a great opportunity to make his a final appearance, which hasn't happened in a while. I can't remember the last time he made it to the finals, but I guess his last final appearance was in Matamoros against myself.
Well, that could all change here this evening.
Yeah, he's looking really strong right now. It doesn't look like Cardona's playing bad, maybe not like his best, but Bobby's playing really well. You can be interested to see how he comes back after this timeout and finishes this game up.
Well, you can do that right after this commercial. We'll be right back. And we're back in game 2 where Bobby Horn is leading against Alex Cardona. Bobby looking strong after winning game 1 15-14 and now in the lead by 3 in game 2. As we were saying before the commercial break, if Bobby can pull off the win here, he will be going to his first final appearance since the 2013 Matamoros Open. Ranked number 4 here on the WRT and a consistent semi-finalist. It would be exciting for him to head to the finals. And a great opportunity for him to earn some points, as Polo Gutierrez is not here and Cardona and Bredenbeck are both vying for more points to help them in the battle for number 1 as it continues here in 2013 on the WRT. That timeout was successful for Cardona as he sides out Bobby. Bobby answers back with a side out here. 9 serving 6. And a point for Horn, 10 serving 6. Cardona not in agreement with the referee call, our referee Christian Longoria.
Cardona a little angry there on that
A
point.
little bit.
It's going to be interesting to see if this is going to motivate Cardona or
unravel him.
or not.
Ooh, ooh. Whoa.
Cardona's really giving the ref a hard time right now. It's in his mind, which for a player like Cardona, it's 50-50 on whether it's going to affect him negatively or positively. For most players, you're told and you're coached not to let emotion take control.
Ooh.
That's what I always tell people that I'm coaching, because I mean, emotion is good sometimes. It can get you going, it can get you fired, but then at the same time, it can make you skip like 5 in a row, and then you're rather just have like a clear head and be smart about things than let your emotions play a role.
So far, it's doing okay for Cardona. 2 points in a row with a big ace against Bobby. And then he sides out. Interesting, like smiles and lots of tension.
Cardona sailed one there, and Bobby was able to take advantage of it. You can't be making shots like that in a semifinal.
Ooh. Jammed up there against the back wall with a side out then for Cardona.
Ref called that a do-over. I thought it hit Bobby's shorts. Maybe I just saw something with his racket or so.
It looks like they're both in agreement, though,
Yeah.
for maybe the first time this match.
Coming down to the wire again, huh, Laura?
Oh, yeah. I don't think
What's
it would
your
be
prediction?
I don't think it would be the San Luis Open if it wasn't. So far, 3 out of 4 quarterfinals going to tiebreaker. Anything can happen here. I don't know. Bobby's looking really strong today.
Before that point, I was going to call a tiebreaker, but
No,
maybe not.
we're seeing a lot more emotion from Cardona, too. I mean, there has been a lot of friction between the referee and the players, so it's interesting. I think it's starting to get to Cardona a little bit. Whoa. Crazy rally there. Some great gets from Bobby there in the corner. And a side out for Cardona. Nice
those are
down the
some
line there from Cardona.
incredible gets by both players.
Seriously.
It's pure reaction.
And we're back in game 2 at the San Luis Open 2015. Alex Cardona serving. Ooh, nice soft touch there from Cardona.
A little smooth shot right there.
Yeah. Alright, I think he's starting to get some of his rhythm back. Maybe that timeout was good for Cardona as well. He was getting a little frustrated maybe with some of the calls. And now it's tied up in game 2. And
Killer
that
shot
puts
right there.
Cardona in the lead now in game 2. And Cardona with 3 in a row here after the timeout.
There it is. It gives him his first game point. I think we're going to tiebreaker.
We've seen this score before, actually. This looks a lot like game 1.
This is true. and
Different
that's why,
momentum.
that's why Bobby's going to take a timeout and try and collect his thoughts.
We'll be right back to see what happens in game 2 after this. And we're live back here in game 2 in a familiar situation that we saw in game 1. Cardona up 14-11 now. Let's see if Bobby has the power to do what he did in game 1, or we're going to go to breaker. This is the first game point for Alex Cardona here in game 2. I'm Laura McCormick with the WRT, and I'd like to thank Anthony Herrera for joining me today on the mic.
There it is.
There we go. Game 2 goes to Cardona, 15-11. We're going to breaker. We'll be right back with that after this.
And we're back here at the San Luis Open for the tiebreaker of this first semifinal match between Alejandro Cardona and David Horn. These two have battled the first 2 games, 15-14 going to Horn, game number 1, 11-15 number 2 to Cardona, and now we're in the tiebreaker. Every point is critical here in a tiebreaker when you're only going to 11 points. Seems like whenever 1 point comes, it follows by 2 more, so you really have to be careful about runs.
Right, tied up here, 1-1 in game 3. Anything can happen, and of course we play best 2 out of 3 here on the WRT. This game is 2-11, win by 1. And a side out for Cardona. And another side out. Still tied up at 1-1. And a point for Horn, pumping himself up there.
There, Cardona is shooting balls right back to David, and David's right in front of him. He needs to make him move. Work his wide-angle passes or cross courts. There it is.
And a side out for Cardona, making Bobby move around. Earns him an opportunity to tie it up. Short serve. And there it is, the tie-up, 2-2. Ooh.
But with a shot.
Ooh.
Man, these guys are playing close.
Yeah. Ref called him there, though. Well, just like we've seen all weekend long, pretty intense semifinal here in the breaker.
Very intense.
And a timeout. Let's see if we can keep the intensity up when we come back here in game 3. We'll be right back. And we're back in game 3 where the intensity is still high, through the roof maybe even, in our tiebreaker of our semifinal between David Bobby Horn and Alex Cardona.
This is fun. This is a lot of fun.
We've already seen 3 tiebreakers today. What's another one?
It has been a long day.
And Bobby coming out of the timeout with a point.
It's interesting Cardona taking a timeout there, especially with him in the lead. Because now Bobby just came back and the timeout worked for him instead.
Yeah, tying it up now 4-4.
Three points for Horn. Puts him in the
3
lead.
in a row. Second serve. Four in a row for Horn after that timeout, now leading by 2.
Cardona wants to get back in this game. He needs to control that center of the court. Bobby's doing a great job of it right now.
Finally, a side out for Cardona. Ooh, nice get. Looks like look
You
at the
know, with a
replay.
little more, I don't know if I should say effort from Cardona there, he could have pulled the avoidable. Instead, he kind of just chooses to take it to the back wall, and he gets the replay. If he moves just a little bit and sets up for the shot, Bobby's right in his way.
And then he gets the point, you're saying.
Yeah. I think both these players are fighting a little bit of the exhaustion, having
Some
long matches this
games.
morning.
Yeah. High altitude, high heat. And another point for Cardona, going to tie it up here 6-6. Ooh, and the ball breaks. We're going to go ahead and switch out the ball here.
I'm really surprised more balls aren't breaking this weekend. These courts with the concrete and as fast as the ball is, I've only seen a handful, which is pretty darn good.
So does that speak volumes then about the official ball of the WRT, the Gearbox Black Ball?
Always, I guess that was a free plug, but
I think that was. That was a big setup, and whew, I went for it.
I was being completely real on that one. But yeah, of course, go to gearboxrp.com and
order yourself some of those black balls. They can withstand almost anything. Here we go, tied up 6-6 in game 3.
Nice pass, nice shots. That's smart racquetball. When you see both players kind of circling each other like that, that means both are trying to get control of that center court.
And another side out. Super competitive semifinal here tonight. Opening up our semifinals. Coming up after this, we have number 1 Jake Bredenbeck versus number 4 hometown boy Andre Parilla. This is almost another 2-hour match here this evening. David Bobby Horn's first match today in the first quarterfinal against David Ortega was about 2 hours. And Cardona's first quarterfinal was an hour, almost an hour and a half.
Yeah, David is the one who set us off
He
on
did.
a late start.
Had a super long first match against David Ortega.
Man, Cardona takes the lead here in the tiebreaker. 7-6. Ooh, that is a nasty shot right there. Should come with the disclaimer, don't try this at home. That is fatigue right there. Didn't move his feet and went for a shot that probably shouldn't have. Bobby really making some shots right now. That was all the way in the back of the court above his head. Just ridiculous. Ref is going to call that an avoidable.
Bobby's not going to like it.
Bobby's not going to like it because he was making an effort to get out, but it really did take away from Cardona's setup. Eight, all tied up.
I think Bobby's going for a new record here.
I'm predicting 10-10. Oh! Just got in front of Cardona. That's how fast the ball is traveling right here. It hit front wall, back wall, and Cardona had a hard time catching up to it. Replay given to Cardona. 8-8. Are you feeling it, Laura? I'm feeling it right now.
It's tense right now. And a point for Horn, putting him ahead here, 9-8.
9-8.
It's a tough match. Seriously competitive matches here this weekend, yeah.
He's going to take a timeout. I don't know. This didn't work out too well for him last
Right.
time, so we'll have to see.
Bobby had a run last time. Well, we'll see what happens when we come back right after this. And we're back in game 3 with Bobby Horn in the lead, 9-8. And Cardona taking the timeout. Let's see if this works in his favor here.
I see Andre Perea warming up behind us, and I spotted Jake out there as well. It's going to be a pretty good matchup coming up right after this.
That's right. We got another great semifinal. Ooh, and a side out there for Cardona. Works out.
That was a great shot. Bad serve, but Cardona is able to capitalize on it.
Ooh, nice get. Bobby looking for 2 bounces. Some fast racquetball right there, and a point for Cardona.
Cardona kind of felt that Bobby was in front of him, kind of raised his hand, but was like, I don't really want to raise my hand on this one.
9-9, tied up again for the umpteenth time here in game 3.
Oh my gosh, incredible get.
Wow, ref
That was a
good.
great
That
get
was
by
good.
Bobby.
Ooh, that's got to be frustrating, especially as exhausted as these guys must be here at this point.
That's crazy. You know, I can't give the edge to either one of these guys right now, as they're both experienced players.
Yeah.
And if it was a younger player, I might give it to the more experienced player, being able to hold off the pressure, you know.
No, but these two are very evenly matched here today. Oh, wow.
It's going to call a shot on Cardona right there. Gives Bobby his first match point.
Woo. All right, Bobby Horn's first match point here of our semifinal. Cardona is taking a timeout.
I believe that that he's changing his racket real quick.
Whew. Pretty intense.
I know that Bobby always says that he's going for the crack whenever he has a match point, so I'm interested to see if he follows his own advice.
He's doing a lot of self-talk right now out there.
Yeah, I think he's talking about what he wants for breakfast tomorrow. Not quite sure on that one, but.
All right, here we go. Cardona switched up his racket, and he's back ready. First game point.
They're both playing with the new Beltran collection from Gearbox.
That's right.
It looks like the 170 Teardrop.
You are correct, sir.
Well, it wasn't much of an ace,
Kind of first
but
serve is that.
gonna give him a setup off the back.
Ooh. Wow.
That has just slammed that ball into the front wall.
Cardona is
He
ready
was
to
very
tie
close
it
to
up.
hitting himself, though. He was. And this is where we go 10-10, my prediction.
That was your prediction. That is correct. Here's the opportunity.
Ooh, man,
wow.
Bobby. Bobby playing smart right there. Hit it straight down the line. Nothing special. Just trying to make a good shot.
I'm gonna wipe down the court real quick.
Bobby wants to get this match going. He
Yeah,
doesn't
I
want
don't
any
think
breaks.
he thought the floor was wet.
And there it is.
Wow. Incredible. Bobby Horn pulling off the win there, 11-9 in the breaker. That means Bobby Horn is going to be back in the finals for the first time since 2013, and he'll play the winner of our next semifinal match coming up right after this between Jake Brennenbeck and Andre Perea.